Well, hello there, everyone. It's me, Gina from Gina K Designs, and welcome to Stamp and Chat. Tonight, we have a really fun technique to do. But before we do that, I'm just going to give people a chance to come into the area. I see lots of people already from both Facebook and YouTube popping in. And I see people from all over the country and all over the world. Some of you are trying to stay up across the pond. Wow. 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK, Tom. And you're staying up. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everyone. It is great to see you. I hope you are all having a fantastic week. Tom and I have been very, very busy with our staff, moving from one location to the other. And wow, lots of changes happening for us in our lives right now. But good news. We got like 170 orders out from our new location today. Can you believe that, Tom?
No.
That was unbelievable that they were able to do that. And we got all of our wholesale orders that were sitting in the system out. So our retailers are going to be really happy about that as well. So do you remember a couple weeks ago when I told you I had a colonoscopy? And we're not going to talk about that again, I promise. But remember when I had this big bruise on my hand? Well, I think I have found the solution. So I just want to show you what I bought. Let's just flop over to the overhead so I can show you. I found the perfect solution. So next time, like I have a lot of cuts and like scrapes and bumps on my hands from moving, and they are a little beat up looking, but look what I found. This is the perfect solution. Hander pants. I think everybody needs hander pants. And you know what? I know that these were meant for me, and I'll tell you why. Because look, on the back, it tells you hundreds of uses, including supermodels. Look at that. Hander pants. Night blogging. The elderly. So far, I'm falling into all of these categories. Cruising. I do that on my bike. Construction, I've been doing that. And cooking, oh my gosh, I cut up an apple every day. I can't believe it. These are meant for me. So I'm just gonna try them on and see how these hander pants work. Let's see, they've got a little tag that you're supposed to cut. I'm not gonna cut it. All right, we'll give these a try and just see how they look. All right, I'm trying on the hander pants. This is great. So when my hands are all cut up from this move, I'll be able to just come on and have these on, and that won't be distracting at all, right? Nothing distracting about that.
A little bit of slack there.
I do have a little slack in my drawers. Oh my goodness. All right. Can we go back? I got these at a magic shop, you know, like a shop that has all these fun things for budding magicians, you know, like disappearing, like Rabbit in the Hat kind of magic shop. And they had all these goofy gag gifts. And I actually bought a pair of these for my friend Kathy Rakusin, who has lots of little hands, and she always does funny skits and things with those. So I got her a pair, and I got myself a pair. So they're the underpants for your hands. That's for all those bruises. Supermodels. Yep, that's me. All right, let's go back to the front shot because I have a shout out to do tonight. I was over on our Facebook group, and if you haven't been to our Facebook group, it is really the nicest Facebook group on the internet. Our members are so amazing, and we just broke the 30,000 member milestone, and we gave away 30 gift certificates. It was super fun, and I read a post from one of our members, Katina Hoke. And Katina told me that her mother-in-law, who she loves so much, she posted about this, her mother-in-law used to make cards all of the time. And then she just kind of stopped making cards, and she wasn't sure why she stopped. But she shared my videos and Jennifer McGuire's videos with her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law started watching the videos, and she actually started making cards again. So I want to do a big shout out to Donna Hoke. I'm so excited to have you in the card making industry. I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, but if you're not, Katina can always fill you in on what's going on over there. But welcome back to card making, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. And I know you're making your daughter-in-law very, very happy. All right, so let's get to the technique. So tonight, what we're going to do is we are going to do a couple of different techniques that that kind of look like layering stamps without all of the work of layering stamps. I know some people are a little hesitant to buy layering stamps, or maybe you've bought them and you've struggled a little bit with lining them up, or maybe it's just not your thing and you have some chunky stamps, but you would like them to look like layering stamps. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use 2 stamp sets. We're going to use the Wild Blossoms stamp set, which is finally back in stock, I believe, and the Layered Daisies stamp set, but we're only going to use 1 layer. So I'm going to show you, and this is really a good technique too if you love layered stamps, and maybe you have 2 layers, but you want to make it look like there's a 3rd, or you have 3 layers and you want to add a 4th. So this technique will work for all of that. So let's flip over to the overhead, and I've got a piece of cardstock here. Oh my goodness, we've got some trolls. So let Tom take care of that person, that robot. Okay, so we're going to go to the overhead here, and we are going to just take a piece of cardstock here, and I'm just going to cut it down to a 1/4 sheet. All right, there we go. I know, isn't that so wonderful to hear that Donna is making cards again? That's so cool. You know, sometimes we take breaks from our hobbies, and then all of a sudden we get inspired by a video, or we get inspired by a person. It sounds like Donna was inspired by Katina. All right, so let's start with the Layered Daisies stamp set. So this is that stamp set, and this is a very easy stamp set to do layers. Wild Blossom isn't in stock. Well, I don't know if Sammy is watching or Debbie Warner is watching. If not, I don't even know, Tom, can you get on to the website on your computer? If not, it's okay if you can't. And can you put, here, let me see. Give me 1 second, everybody, and we'll make sure that we get it in stock for you. I don't know why I thought somebody else was doing that, but it's my job, and I think I just blew it. That's usually what happens. There's your number. Okay, so we'll put these in, we'll put Wild Blossom in stock. So Layered Daisies here is a really super easy stamp set to do 2-step stamping on, and I'll show you what it looks like when you do 2 steps with Layered Daisies. Oh, I'm pulling all the other stamps off here. So I'm just going to take this big one, and I'll put it onto this round block here. And I'm going to use some Peach Bellini, and I'm going to use a block for this just to show you it's pretty easy to line up. So we'll start with some Peach Bellini, and I'll just stamp that right here. Okay. All right. So you get a nice, good impression with that solid one. And let me grab my tidy towel. I'm going to clean this off, and then we're going to put the 2nd step. Now, this is an easy one because it's a 2-step, and there's not too much to 2-step stamping. And again, with these kinds of stamps, especially these very kind of frilly kinds of stamps, if you don't line them up perfectly, that is totally fine, but they are fairly easy to line up. So we'll go with a darker color. Let's go with Faded Brick, because that's what I have here. And we'll ink this one up with Faded Brick. Faded Brick and Peach Bellini are a really nice color combination, by the way. And then we'll try to find, excuse my head, I do have to look kind of straight down on this, so I'm going to do that. And then you just stamp that on top, and you can see what that looks like. Right, there you go. So this is a pretty easy one to line up. And there is a 3rd step. I don't know what I was thinking. Of course, there's a 3rd step because there's a center to this flower. So we'll just do the 3rd step so that you can see it. We can use Faded Brick again, although if you wanted to, you could use a brown like warm cocoa or dark chocolate. And then you would just stamp this in the center. So that is how easy that is for 2-step stamping. And that's very, very pretty. Debbie, I like the sound of the plastic coming off the stamps too. It's like ASMR. I love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a different way to do this technique. So I think I'm going to use my square block. All right. So I have some Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers. Now you can use these, you can use Tombow markers, you can use the old Stampin' Up markers. I don't know if they still have those or not, but any water-based markers. I said Tombow, there's other water-based markers out there, but anything that's a water-based, you can mix with this dye ink. I wouldn't use Copic because they're alcohol inks and they dry super fast, and they'll also, I don't think that they'll transfer the way you want them to. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ink this up with Peach Bellini. Now I'm only using the second image for this, but I love how frilly this flower is when you just use the second image by itself. And I'm going to take this deep red Zig Clean Color Brush Marker, and I'm just going to do some brush strokes right here like this. And I'm turning the stamp, and I'm just adding some little strokes right in there. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp that. Now that gives you the look of two different steps. You see that? I love that. All right. So I just think that that's really pretty and really soft. I'll add a center to that using some faded brick, which is going to look like a different color because this red is definitely different. We'll do this way. Like that. Isn't that a pretty flower? It looks like a watercolor flower, and I think that that is so pretty. Oh, yes, I didn't know what ASMR stood for, so thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. I think a couple other people are sharing it as well. Annette. Yeah, ASMR, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there of people like making sounds that people like chewing. Some people hate the sound of chewing. Other people really like the sound of chewing. Some people like the sound of, I don't know, like bubble wrap popping. I do love that sound. I actually love doing that as well. Okay, so now I'll show you another way to do this. Let's see here. I'm going to show you on a more solid stamp. So I'm going to use one of the wild blossoms for the second way to do this. No, maybe I'll use one from here. I'll use one from here. Okay, so this is another one of the layered daisies, and I love this image right here. This is a really pretty two-step image. So I'll show you what it looks like stamped with 2 steps. And then I'll show you what it looks like done with this one-step technique. Okay, so here we're stamping the Peach Bellini. Let me move over here because I was on the edge. And then we're going to stamp on top of it. I really don't need a block quite that big. I'll use a small block. We're going to stamp on top of it with some faded brick with the second image. This is the 2-step. Right? Okay. So very pretty, right? Very easy, very pretty. But if you just want a more frilly looking image, you can stamp it, and I'll do this using the Misty this time. So if you're apprehensive and you would like to stamp it in 2 steps instead, you can ink up your first image with the Peach Bellini the first time, the frilly image. Can ink that up. Okay. Then you can go back over it. I would just clean it. And you can go back over it with that same marker. Let's see. I'll make this a little bit easier for you to see by putting a piece of white paper under here. So you can take this and then just add some little stroke marks like that. And then stamp that right on top. See how pretty that is? So this stamp set that I'm using is called Layered Daisies. So I thought tonight it would be fun if I did this technique and I used wild blossoms, which is what everybody's been waiting for it to come back in stock. So I would use wild blossoms and I would use layered daisies to make a card. So I'm going to use these 2 images from Layered Daisies, and then I'm going to use a couple images from Wild Blossoms, and we'll do a different color combination. So let me cut another quick piece of cardstock. Of course, you know we have to do something with blues because I can never get through a video, it seems, without adding a little bit of turquoise sea in there. So let me put this aside, and then we'll do some leaves, and we'll make a couple of cards. Okay, so the Wild Blossom set, I love this set. If you haven't seen this one before, I love this huge vine. And then I love how you can put different blossoms in and around this vine. Plus, if you love ink blending and you love all of those silhouette style images, this is a beautiful image, and so is this one. So if you don't have this set, this is definitely one that I love. Okay, so I'm going to put this down just a little bit, and I'm going to use my Misty to stamp the vine. The reason I put it down a little bit on my Misty is because this is a giant stamp, and it's going to hang over the edge. And if I had it up at the top or down at the bottom, it would not work because it would be up over the top of the Misty. You know what I'm saying? Sure you do. You guys know. All right, so we're going to do this with green first. And again, I'm going to cut this down, so I'm not real worried about perfect placement, but I just wanted to be able to get most of it on there. So we're going to start with a little bit of jelly bean green for this. I'm going to ink this up. This is huge. And because this is so huge, I want to do my 2 steps separately. Because if I started coloring all these little leaves with a second color, by the time I got done, a lot of this would dry. So you can take this in little steps. All right, so the first image we're going to stamp is this one, and I'm going to use my Chucky tool. Here it is. And if you're new here, this is a tool made by my friend Chuck Meadows. He made this for me. He's amazing. He made it out of a curtain finial and a furniture protector pad. Okay, and then he glued them together, so that's pretty amazing, and it really helps me stamp nicely with the Misty. All right, so now I'm going to clean this. And then I'm going to use a second green. So this green that I'm using is deep red. And I'm going to just add a little bit to each leaf here. Just a little bit down at the bottoms of each leaf. So you can see you can turn any solid stamp that you have, just plain vines, into that look of layered stamps. Okay. And I'm just going to do a little bit of it because it's going to start to dry.
Vicky wants to know what your favorite flower is.
My favorite flower? I think peonies, at least to stamp. I think peonies. Now I'm going to add that second layer. But for smell, hyacinths. And it's almost hyacinth season. Look how pretty that looks. Here, let me bring that up to the camera a little bit. Can you see that?
Did you say deep red?
I said deep red for the first one. Yeah, the first marker I used was deep red, and this one is deep green. I guess I'm into the deep tones today. So let's see. Now we're going to do a few more. So, and if we miss any, you know, we can always go back. That's the beauty of doing this with the Misty. Just adding that little bit of interest on each of these leaves, just at the bottom. Yeah, Tom, just shout out any questions anybody has. I'll do my best to answer. Can't answer everything because I don't know everything. I like to think I know everything. Right, Tom?
Right.
Hey. You weren't supposed to say that. Oh, my goodness. So yesterday I posted some funny stuff on my Instagram stories, also on my Facebook stories. So if you get a chance, if you didn't see it, you know, stories go away after a while, but I actually saved it as a highlight on my Instagram. So you can go back and see it. It's under a little circle called Moving Funnies. Okay, so you can see all that little detail. Isn't that fun? There aren't dies for this set, no. And the reason why we didn't do dies for this set is because all the techniques that I have shown on all of my videos require direct stamping onto your paper, including silhouette type stamping and stuff. So we decided not to do dies for it. All right. Let's see. It's kind of, I'm looking at this thing backwards, you know, so I'm trying to figure out where I left off. But it's okay if you know, if you end up going over something a second time, not a big deal. All right. Tom's doing his best to keep up with the comments. You know, when you guys watch, some of you are on YouTube, some of you are on Facebook, and so we're getting comments from both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So he's monitoring all the comments. So there's a lot coming through. He's also kicking out the trolls to keep us safe. Tom's my hero.
Move your paper back down.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, I think you might want to zoom out a little.
Okay, I can zoom out. All right. And we'll get, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I moved my paper. Thank you. Now, where was it? That is going to be terrible. I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to do my best. I'm doing my best. I think I got it. If this is right, I'm going to just, I will be a supermodel. Look, I nailed it. Woohoo!
No more drinks before.
No more fruit salad before the show. That was a close one. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Tom, for noticing that comment. Okay, I think I'm going to do the rest with a block because now I'm nervous. And I didn't even have a drink, but I am sleep deprived. So we're going to go with that. So I'm going to use a couple of these different flowers for this. And I love this tiny one here. Got to use that one. There's also another big one down here, but I'll just use these for now. Less chance of a mistake. All right, we'll start with this one. And let's do a blue combination. Now I'm going to test it first on my scrap paper here to see if I like the combination. So I have my turquoise sea ink pad, and then I've got this deeper color called Persian Green. But this doesn't look like green to me. That looks like a turquoise. What's in my fruit salad? Sangria is what's in my fruit salad. We call my sangria fruit salad, so it's healthier. But hey, Marcy, how are you? Can this be done with the liner brush and watercolor? Yes, Jason, great idea. Yes, you certainly can do it with a watercolor brush or a liner brush and some watercolors. All right, so this is turquoise sea on here, and I'm adding a little bit of color, and we'll see if it's vibrant enough. I just want to get some color. Okay, this is the first nice day in Wisconsin, and somebody's cutting their grass. Okay, what do you think of that combo? That's pretty, huh? I like it. Who's cutting their grass? Tom, you're going to have to go out and yell again. Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll try this one more time. And we'll stamp it right onto. This is not quite as different as the last one. I wonder if I can add this other blue. I'm going to test this other blue. And if this works, no, that's not even going to work. Not even going to work. Let's do one more thing before we commit to this. Let's try sea glass. Got to try sea glass. You guys know I do all of this live, right? That I don't plan too much. I plan my plan is like what technique I'm going to do, but I don't really plan the actual doing. So this is sea glass this time. Oh, I think we might like this color combination better. Maybe he's just testing his mower. It sounds like he stopped, or else his wife is watching the live and she's screaming at him. Okay, do you like that? That looks really close, actually. I know, Raina, who cuts their grass at night? Well, it's still kind of light here, believe it or not, in Wisconsin. So do you like this one better or this one? So sea glass and turquoise sea. Sea glass here, turquoise sea. Which combo do you like better? Let's see. Yeah, using the brush pens this way is super fun. Super fun. Oh, you like both. Sea glass, the second one. Okay, that's 2 for sea glass. Sea glass. We have a turquoise sea. The bottom one, sea glass, sea glass. Okay. So far we have 8 sea glass, 2 turquoise sea, 3. All right. I think sea glass is going to be the winner. Sorry, guys. But if you have turquoise sea at home, I would love to see a card that you guys make with this, with your turquoise sea. Okay. Another fun way to do this is just to use an ink cube or an ink pad down at the bottom too. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this one right here. Pretty, pretty. You guys can see that okay? I'm going to do another one. Just really kind of saturating the bottom of the stamp with that darker color. We'll put one right here. Oh, I love that. I like the depth that that creates. All right, let's try the other stamp. So this one, this stamp has petals coming down. So I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to add some color going up in here. Like that, and then a little coming down onto these petals. Like that. Do this one over here and see what this looks like. So where I want to do it? No, I'll do it right here. Ooh, that's pretty. Yes. Isn't this a fun stamp set? This is actually one of the most relaxing stamp sets I think we have, if that is a thing. Because it's just, you know, you're just kind of building this beautiful vine, and it's so nice for spring. This is Wild Blossoms. Okay, let's do one over here. I really didn't want to do one here, but I'm going to do it. Okay, that's pretty. This one will be an easy card, and then we'll have to cut the other one. We'll have to die cut that one. Okay, I'm going to do the other flower so I don't have 3 of the same in a row. I'm going to put one right up here in this empty hole. And you don't always have to have a vine, like a stick sticking out to, you know, put this flower on. You can just put it in an empty spot. So for example, you could add one like right up here. Ooh, let me move this down. There we go. Like that. And it still looks like it's coming out of the vine, even though there isn't a little twig spot there. Okay, so let's add some of these tiny ones. So here's that little tiny bud. And these are great to put just about anywhere. Anywhere that you feel you need a little more color. So we'll just...
You gotta move the card down a little bit.
Okay. I gotta move this down?
Yeah.
Why? They can't see it?
On YouTube, it's cut off at the top.
Oh, it is? On YouTube it is?
Yeah.
What's going on? Can you see it now?
Well, YouTube's a little behind, so yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. How can YouTube be getting a different view than Facebook? What is happening to society? Now you have to watch on both just in case. Let's do one over here. Like that. Okay, good, Marilyn. She can see perfectly. Can I zoom out a little? Yeah, I can zoom out a little. Let's do that. Let's zoom out just a little. How's that? All right, we'll try that. Okay, and I feel like we need like one up in here. So I'll do one right off of here. See, there's a leaf there. There's nothing on the other side, but I'll add a flower right there. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Should I add one there? Yeah, I should. So you can see this whole thing looks like there's more than one step of stamping, even though it's just a simple, you can do this one down a little bit, even though it's just a simple, solid stamp. So I think I got all the ends that were available. So we'll trim this one up and then we'll add a pretty word to it. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And I've got stamps everywhere. So the Misty is one way to do it. by stamping the same image twice. You know it's going to be spot on. Now, we have another image that I can use here. Let me put this away. How's everybody doing? Welcome to anybody that's just joined us. We are using solid stamps to create the look of layered stamps. So we're going to go back to the Daisy stamp set. These are all weird, coming off weird. Okay, and it's my fault because I didn't clean my stamps very well the last time I used them. So we're going to make some greenery, but I am going to have to add a stem to one of these. So we're going to do another one of these as well. So let's get an acrylic block here. And we're going to use Jelly Bean Green on this. And once again, we're going to go in with the deep green. So I'm stamping this. Crazy windy in Wisconsin today. You're not kidding. Tom moved tons of stuff from our old place to the new place out in the wind. So I'm just taking the brush and I'm just adding a few little brush strokes. And I'm going to stamp it. So pretty. So easy. So Ginger said she can't see the whole paper. What is happening on YouTube, you think, Tom? I'm going to stamp another one of these. But other people are saying that they can on YouTube. All right, same thing again. Are you watching on YouTube, Tom?
Yeah.
And you can see it?
Well, it is cut off a little bit at the bottom.
Down here?
Yep.
Like where I'm working?
No.
Oh, just the paper. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stamp another one of those. And I'll show you that. Okay. Then I'm going to use the other leaf, the other single leaf, so we can cut a couple of these for our design. This is very similar. It's just going in the other direction and it's smaller. Hopefully you can see that. All right. There we go. So YouTube's been like this all day long, huh? Okay, so some people are having good luck and some people are having not great luck, but I bet the replay will be fine because it always seems that even when we have trouble, the replay is great. So if you have to refer back to this for any reason, I think you'll be able to. All right, so I love the way that looks. Holy cow. It's so pretty and so easy, right? You don't have to mess with 2 steps, but it still has that look. So I'm going to do another one of these with the peach Bellini and then the red, the deep red. So if you missed that, you guys can see this one again. So I'll take some peach Bellini here.
What's the name of the stamp set again?
This one is called Layered Daisies that I'm working with right now. And the other one was Wild Blossoms. So I'm going to add a little bit of the deep red in here. Like that. We'll stamp that right there. Whew, pretty. Now remember, you guys, if you're part of my YouTube community, meaning you subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you can always go right to my channel and I have a community tab there. And after I'm done every video, I go over to YouTube and I post a photograph of the cards. This way you're able to see them nice and clear and up close. If you want to copy the idea or you want to print it out or whatever, you can save the picture. So that is a place that you'll see it. You'll also see it in our Facebook group, Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Now, I would love if you're here on YouTube, if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a little thumbs up on this video. You can even give me a thumbs down if you want. I don't care because, well, I do care, but I shouldn't say that. Of course I care. But all interaction is good interaction on YouTube. So even when people give me a thumbs down, it actually helps boost my channel. So I even thank those of you that do a thumbs down because I know sometimes it's even a mistake. Somebody hits the wrong button. And I'm going with that because that's good for my ego. They hit the wrong button. They didn't mean it. So if you could do that, that would be great. And then you'll never miss, if you hit the little notification bell, ring that bell, you will be able to get a notification every time I go live. Now this little stem, sometimes it can be tricky to cut it out because the die is very thin. So if you try to, you know, put that on there, there's a chance that you might flatten it out too much. You want it to be in its perfect position. So lay it down on its face and then pick it up with the block, and then it's going to be true to shape that way. All right, so we're going to ink this one up with Jelly Bean, and then we're going to add that deep green again, a little bit up here, just right here at the top. And then I'm going to try to attach it, so wish me luck. There we go. Looking good. So hopefully I'll be able to cut that. We'll see. We'll see. I might not be. I do occasionally miss on this one because depending on how you have it turned, it may or may not cut out. See, I probably didn't have that turned exactly the right way. Well, you know what I could do? I could see, this is what I do. You guys know I make mistakes live. We love them together. And then I could cut the flower out and add the stamp afterwards. That's what I'm going to do. Like, that's not going to be hard. We're going to do it anyway. All right, so we'll cut this stamp out, and then we'll add the stem later. Oh, my gosh. You guys are going to watch me do that, huh? Okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's cut these suckers out, and then we will make a couple of cards. And if we go over a couple of minutes tonight, I don't care because we missed Thursday and I feel terrible about that. And I missed you all, so I am not opposed to staying just a little bit longer. So I'm going to get my die cutting machine. I'll zoom out a bit so it's not so close. And that will help if I mess up. Yeah, if you want to laugh, go ahead. I love that laugh emoji. I love to see it. I do get upset when I see the scary, angry face, though, because I don't know what you're angry at. But I like to think that you're angry with me about something, not at me about something. All right. So let's cut this one out first. And I know that there's going to be a lot of white space on this, but that's okay. Because normally it has that second part. But we'll see how it looks. Because I might add a little ink blending over it just for fun. Why not? My sleeves are falling down. I like it though. I kind of like that look, just that white space on there. The markers that I'm using, Donna or Denise, is that what you're asking? The markers I'm using are called the Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers. But you can use any watercolor marker you want. So don't feel like you have to use this. And I think I'm going to add a little ink blending on top of this just for fun. So we'll cut these out. We're going to do the best we can here. It was 64 degrees here in Wisconsin today, and we did have a lot of wind as well. March winds, though, we have to expect that, right? And you know what? Here's a little comforting thought today. Because if you're thinking about the year that we've had, and even the winter that we've had, just think that winter, you know, winter's cold. Not everywhere, but it's certainly cold here in Wisconsin. And I like to think that if we had no winter, spring wouldn't feel so warm. And that's really true because 64 degrees in the fall feels really cold to me. And 64 degrees in the spring feels really warm to me. And it's really what you're coming out of that makes, you know, the next thing feel better or worse. And so we've had a winter, haven't we? But because we've had that kind of winter, our spring is going to feel warmer than ever. All right, so there's my encouragement, and there are 2 of my leaves. Okay, so I'm going to cut the flower out if I can find it. Here it is. This looks like a big practice run, but it's actually a flower. And I think, oh man, what flower is this? It's very hard to tell, but I think it goes like that. Yep. There we go. And we'll look at this, and if this looks like there's too much white space, we will add a little color in there. 72 in Oregon. Here, we have an Oregon, Wisconsin, and we say things a little different here. So isn't that fun? I love the white. Now, normally all of that white would be filled in with peach or a different color, but because we only used 1 step, it's got a lot more white space, which makes it look more watercolory. All right. So I think I'm going to cut out a couple words. I'm going to cut out wishes and heart because I haven't used these for a while, and I'm going to cut them in black. I'm going to do them at the same time, upside down, cardstock on top. So I got blade side up. I know that's hanging off the screen. And then I'm going to put my cardstock on top and my very warpy plate. Ooh. Yeah, I like the white space too. I didn't think I would. I was a little nervous, but it turned out pretty nice. And I'm glad you guys are in it with me today. So here's my heart greeting. And here's my wishes greeting. This is some thick black cardstock. And we're going to just poke that out with the Tim Holtz craft pick, or as my daughter Rena calls it, the stick tool. I haven't seen a Rena video in a while. I know she's super busy with school, but I'm going to try to get her to come on a live with me. And she said that she would be interested in doing that. So that will be fun. Okay, so we'll do 1 heart and 1 wishes card. And then I think for my daisies, I am going to do a circle. So I'm going to use, I'm sorry, not a circle, an oval. This is an oval. I'm tired. I'm going to use the middle-sized one, and I'm going to use the single-stitched and the double-stitched. These are the Gina K Designs single-stitched ovals and double-stitched ovals. So we're going to use the single-stitched one on the black because that is the bigger of the 2. It is bigger by 1/8 of an inch. And welcome, everyone. I see people even still coming in. It's great to see you guys. We're having a lot of fun here tonight, making some cards. There's my oval. And then I will need 1 white one. So I have a big piece of white cardstock here. And I'm going to cut the, not the single-stitched one, the double-stitched one. Okay. And I know I'm off the screen here, but I'm just cutting, so you guys know how to do this. And I hope Donna's still watching. Donna Hoke, I hope you're still watching, and I hope you're having a great night. Okay. Here we go. And that's going to go together like that. Now, I feel like my card, I feel like my Blossoms card is going to feel very complete, but I do want to cut this one out as well because I'd like to have a little bit of stitching in there. So I think the die set that I'm going to use is going to be Master Layouts 2. For those of you who have any of our Master Layout sets, you know that this just makes such quick work of your layers. So in Master Layouts 2, we have a single stitch rectangle and then a layering rectangle that I usually cut in black because that's my thing. All right, and I'm going to cut this so it's like that. I'm going to cut a little bit off. But you can see, even just for basic composition, I made sure that a little bit of blue was down here. Let me show you. A little bit of blue was down here, and a little bit of blue is up in this corner. Okay. And again, this is such a abstract kind of vine that you don't even have to worry about it being perfectly straight when you cut it. because it's not like a straight vine that has a sharp edge. Okay. Yeah, I use master layouts a lot myself. Master layouts too, a lot myself. Okay, and you can just see how pretty that little edge really makes a difference. And again, these cards are going to be posted both on YouTube, in my community, on my community tab on my channel, and on Facebook. So in our Facebook group. And I think Tom popped the name of the group up a little while ago. If you want to pop it up again, Tom, while I'm cutting this one, just in case anybody missed it, you can search on Facebook. You could just type in Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends, and you'll be able to find us. Now, it is a private group, so it'll ask you a couple questions about crafting to make sure you're a crafter. They're not like hard questions. It's not like a quiz or anything, but they're just questions to make sure that you are a crafter. And then we'll let you in. We like to try to keep it just to crafting and just to crafters. It's a very happy, fun group. Okay, I think I have everything, but I might have to die cut some strip sentiments, but we'll get to that. Okay, I'll move my paper back up here. Now I have all these pieces. Let's see. I'm going to cut just a regular piece. I'm making 2 cards at one time, so this is always confusing, but hey, what the heck. I'm going to cut a piece 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Now this is the same as our master layouts one, but since I forgot, I just figured I'd cut it by hand, and I have a piece that measures the right one over here. I have one cut already. So this is going to be my background piece, but let's do a quick wood grain just to give it a little bit of something in the back. So this is 3 3/4 inch. We're going to make some quick planks here. We're going to score on every 1/4 inch going down. So we'll start, here's the 3 3/4 inch, then we go to the 3 1/2, we go to the 3 1/4, we go to the 3. So I'm just doing it all on the 1/4 inch marks. These are always tricky where you've got a couple skinny ones. But we're going to do just a tight little planking of wood here. And then when it gets too close, I usually flip it around because it's too close to the edge. And my fingers are a little too fat for that. And I'll get my last 2 there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some really soft gray. So the color that I'm going to use is soft stone. But where did it go? Why isn't it where it should be? See, this is the trouble that we have when we don't put things away where they belong. Actually, it was there. I just didn't see it. So this is soft stone. Totally freaked out for nothing. This is soft stone, and I'm going to do just a quick wood graining. And all that means is I'm just going to drag. I really like doing this with a rectangle style ink pad because you can get a nice sharp edge. I'm just going to take my ink pad. I'm going to just drag it down like this. And I'm going to do it the other side too. And see, it looks kind of like, what's that? I know somebody's going to know the name, but it's kind of like the board that goes around your room. It just has that kind of feel to it. I can't think of what that's called. You know what that's called, Tom?
The border?
Yeah, if you do like this kind of board look, where it's the real tight little boards together going around. You don't know what that's called? Somebody will know. I know somebody will know. All right, so there's my little bit of wainscoting. Thank you, Raina. Yes, or shiplap. Yes, Jane. Either one of those. Shiplap is, I always think of shiplap as being a little bit thicker, but beadboard, yes. Okay, wood paneling. Yeah, all right. Okay. Boy, there were 4 different ones, and I couldn't remember any of them. You guys are so awesome. Yes, we have shiplap in our basement, and I guess, you know, this is scaled down because it's a card, so it certainly could be shiplap. All right, and I still have to stamp my stem. Very nervous about that. But this is a little wrinkled up because of the scoring. So I want to use a little extra tape and we'll just get that down there. That just gives such a nice background for my floral look. And then we're going to tape these two layers together. Okay, like that. Maybe we won't even need to do a flag sentiment. We'll see. And then this whole thing is going to go onto my card base. See, and this is the way my card's going to look. And then I'm going to lay my flowers out around it. This will go up here. And get some leaf action in here. Oh, pretty, pretty. Do something over here. And we'll get just a little bit maybe coming off of this one. Kind of like that. You guys like that layout? And then we'll do our greeting. So let's see how it all works out. Because I have the little coordinating stamp sets that go with heart and wishes. So I'm going to look now and see which one I think. I think, boy, I feel like maybe we won't even put this on the side. Maybe we'll just really put this more in the middle almost, and we'll take up a lot of the oval. The oval will just be the grounding piece for it.
People said don't forget to color your stem.
Yeah, I know. I got to color my stem. You're right. Thank you. And then we could do, that'll just be the grounding, and then we'll have heart down here. Oh, I know. Let's see. We can get heart right on the oval, and we can do love you with all my, and then do the flowers up higher. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to tackle this now. I'm very nervous, so I need to know that you're cheering me on for this. Okay. First, I got to see if it even matches. It's not bad. Okay, I think we can do it, guys. I think we can do it. Okay. I'm going to be a little safe here. I'm going to actually just tack this down on my little piece of cardstock here so it doesn't shift around. That's me being proactive. And I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to act like I really know what I'm doing. I'm going to ink it up. Should we just zoom in really close so that you guys can be disappointed closer?
Can't you just use a marker?
I could use a marker, Tom, but I lost my remote. Oh, here it is. Everything's under everything. I could use a marker, but I want all that, like, I want the two different greens in there and all. And I don't think I'm talented enough to do it freehand. I think I need a little computer editing. All right, so I'm going to add this here, just like that. Okay, and here we go. My head's going to get in the way, guys. Good enough, right? Right? Okay. Okay, good enough. I see the green. That's all that matters, is I can see the green. I probably shouldn't have twisted it, but it's all right. I'm not too far off. That will work. Okay, you love my head. Oh, Florence, thank you. I am due for a root coloring. Okay, we'll back up a little bit. Okay, so let's assemble this one, and then we'll do something with the words on the other one, with a little strip sentiment, I think. All right, this is going to go right here like this. Close enough for jazz. I love that. Okay, so we'll get this right down onto the thing, the card. Now I'm trying to make sure that I'm in my shiplap. You know what I mean? Like I'm centered so that my shiplap looks even on either side, because it is even because of the way we scored it. So, all right, I'm being very picky, but I think that's good. If it was off, I think you'd notice it more because of the lines. All right, and then we have heart here. You can even bring heart down a little bit. Should we or should we bring it up? I don't know. Should I use the bigger oval? No, I'm not going to start over. And then put one flower here. Oh no, we got to get our word in there. Okay, let's stamp that. So what do you like? Do you like I love you with all my heart? Do you like listen to your heart? That would be a really nice graduation one. You warm my heart. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that. You warm my heart. So I need another acrylic block. Wow, I just like swiped everything away and have no idea where I swiped it. So we'll use this one. It's a good thing we're going with a smaller greeting here. You warm my heart. And we need some black onyx ink. Now, again, I'm doing this freehand, so I need to know that you're cheering me on. And we'll do this right, we'll do this right here. There we go. Whew! That is not a mistake. That's a little piece of shrapnel from my die cutting machine. Okay. Now, we'll get that. You warm my heart. And now we'll figure out how we're going to make this look. So we could do this one here. And we can get some leaves. And then we can have this coming out here. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the ticket. I got to lay it out first before I commit 100%. We'll do a leaf there. We'll do a tinier leaf up here coming out of this. And then we'll add one more right up in here. Okay, so that's my layout. That's my layout. You have my heart. Okay. So I'm going to put all the leaves down first. And I'm going to put those down with a little bit of tape. Now, if you have a smartphone, you can always take a picture of your layout first. This way you know what it's going to look like. And you can pull the flowers away without fear of losing your layout. I love the white space on these flowers. I am so happy that we left it. Let's see. See, I didn't pay attention. That'll work. Ooh, this will even work. There we go. A little bit up here. I'm just using the sticky tape, the Gina K tape. This one, I'm going to, ooh, it's already stuck. I'll tape that here. I'm going to check it again before I press it all the way down and make sure that things are still looking good. Yes, they are. Okay, that could even come up higher. And then one more. Oh, that's going to come out of there. This is truly an all-time fave. And this is not a new set. This is a really old stamp set. So I love bringing back some of my favorites. Yep, take a picture of that layout so you remember it. We'll put that there, or we can have it facing this way a little bit, like that. And we'll pop it up just because I think it needs a little texture. So I have my foam squares here. I'm just going to grab one. It's all I need right in the center. One foam square will do it. There we go. Put that right there in the center, like that. And then I'm going to glue this down with some Connect glue. You get a little piece of, oh, I won't be able to see it on there. I don't know what I was thinking there.
Do you know if this set's available?
This set should be available. It was this morning when we checked.
What is it called?
Layered Daisies. So we're just going to add some glue. I might not glue the whole thing down, but I am going to add the glue. It'll just dry if I don't attach it to all the areas. Because I might just, you know, put it up onto the oval and just let it hang off. And the Connect glue goes on white, but it dries clear. So if you get some on your card, don't worry about it. It won't hurt it. We could glue it down. I don't think it'll be a problem. There we go. You warm my heart. Okay. We did get a bunch of dies in recently. I don't know if they've been assembling them, so we might have the dies in. But you could absolutely do this same card layout on a square and stamp it, or a rectangle, and stamp it directly onto the rectangle itself without die cutting it as well. That's kind of a cool card. All right, let's see what we can do with this one now. We're almost done. This isn't going to take long. This is going to be a fast little card. So we can adhere these two together. And I'm going to put that one on a white card base. Boy, I've touched everything. So I've got ink. See, I should have had my hander pants on, Tom. I took them off. Took them off for the show. Oh, my goodness. So wishes. We can put that right onto the card. And let's see. Wow. Spring wishes. Oh, let's do spring wishes. Loving wishes. Birthday wishes. No, it's spring. I am in a spring mood. It is just spring in my world. So we're going to stamp spring. So we'll glue this directly onto the card. And then, ooh, I'm going to put a little embellishment over the eye. Okay. So I have my Connect glue. Again, we're going to add little dots of glue. And honestly, by the time I take the pictures, after we're done going live, I set it up on my little board and the glue is already dry and you can't even see it if it got on the front of the word. It dries so fast. And it doesn't dry shiny, so you don't really see the glue on the front, even if you happen to get some glue on the front, it doesn't leave a little shine behind. Ooh, that stuck to my finger. So, okay. Put this right here. See, I got that stuck to me. All right, and then we will put our greeting on there. So we're going with spring, everyone. I think spring is the thing for me. Okay, and we'll use black onyx again. Usually I use an ink cube when I deal with greetings this tiny. There we go. Spring wishes. And then let's add an embellishment on top of the eye since we don't have a dot for it. So we'll use one of these little hearts from our black and white heart assortment. A little heart. There we go. Let me get my jewel picker and my glue. Where did I put it? Here it is. We'll just do a little dot right there. Tiny dot. And then we'll add that little black heart right on top. Oh, that's cute. Let's straighten it out a little before the glue dries. Okay. Is that straight? I can't even tell. I don't think it is. I think it's a wonky, they're wonky hearts, so they look wonky no matter how you have them. All right, so there is my second card. That was a fast card, 4 minutes. That card went together. So there's my 2 cards showing you how to use just single stamps to create a layered stamping look. And I really think they both look a lot like watercolor too. That's super, super fun. Love it, love it. Okay. Okay. So I'll take some good pictures of this and we'll share them both on the community tab on YouTube and over on Facebook. So if you get a chance, like this video and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell here on YouTube, on Facebook. Just make sure you join our group because it's so much fun. So, you know, we've had a long winter and I always like to end with some sort of quote. And I found this quote and I think it's just beautiful. It's very appropriate. So I've been looking around. I noticed that some of my spring flowers are starting to come up, and that's pretty good here in Wisconsin. That feels early, but I'm excited. I hope you guys are starting to see spring flowers poke through your dirt too. When you go outside, it's starting to feel a little bit warmer. Such a good feeling. So my quote for tonight is, spring is a reminder of how hopeful change can be. It's a good one for us, Tom, with all the changes we're going through this week. Spring is a reminder of how hopeful change can be. Well, thank you guys so much for being here this evening. I always have so much fun with you. We'll be back on Thursday at noon for lunchtime live. We'll actually be all done by then. So we're excited to see all of our international friends for Thursday morning. I know a lot of them, it's like 2 in the morning now. So thanks to those of you who stayed up. Until Thursday, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all so very much. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.